Couple trivial points of interest that I did pick up, though. Number one, Earl Cossey was still employed at the Issaquah Sky Sports drop zone, the biggest drop zone in the area. He was still employed there when it closed down in, I think, 85, maybe 87, something like that. He was still the weekend rigger there. What did Earl Cossey do for a living? His whole life, Earl Cossey was a 7th grade, 8th grade math teacher who also coached sports. Well loved by a lot of people, a very good math teacher in the public education system. He only was a rigger and a parachute packer on the weekends, and he did that for many, many years. So he was a jumper and a rigger and a packer. The other trivial piece of information that you may find interesting is that Earl was cheap. He did things kind of on the cheap a lot of times, which fully explains why in late 60s, early 70s, maybe 71, Earl bought a surplus NB8 bailout rig and he modified it to make it a sport rig. It's because he bought a surplus rig for cheap. He didn't want to spend 10 times the money to buy an actual sport rig manufactured as a sport rig. He was just that cheap. He bought a military rig, he modified it, and that was his own personal rig, only for him to jump. He's not renting it out. Nobody else gets to jump that. That was his rig. He enlarged the packing tray. He could really put whatever he wanted back in there as a main, an accuracy canopy or something big. He could put whatever he wanted to in there. But that's as far as I could go with Earl Cossey. He was definitely at Issaquah Sky Sports Center, the drop zone that's now a Lowe's. He was definitely there on Friday when this hijacking scene unfolded, when Northwest Operations made one phone call to the drop zone. I'm pretty sure it was Earl Cossey that answered the phone. Earl didn't send those rigs in a cab. He didn't drive them. State Patrol launched at least a vehicle, maybe 2 vehicles immediately, driving as fast as they could to get to the drop zone, and they picked him up. There was no confusion on the rigs or sending them to the wrong field or anything like that. The State Patrol picked him up from Earl Cossey at Issaquah Sky Sports Center, and they took him direct to the airplane, and that's how come they got there at the same time as the money, is because all that happened. I'm pretty sure all that is bingo accurate, but it's kind of cool to own Earl Cossey's actual jump rig. He was a very, very big part of this story. Really, the whole Issaquah Sky Sports Center is a huge